Hi everyone, Radical Gardener. This is probably going to be a short video, but I wanted to share something with you that happened to me yesterday that I think many of you may have had the same experience. So as you know, I had this kind of awakening about 4 months ago that this whole the political drama that's going on is really about an internal journey. And by just really making peace with who and what I am, with humankind, with the collective consciousness, and understanding that all of us are God's children. And I am not religious on any level. I just think religion's done more damage than it ever did good. But as you know, I've been reading from these books that actually Dr. Snell and I are doing, and many other people have done, that are channeled by Paul Selig, S-E-L-I-G. And they're very different. I don't do channeled books. I don't do channeled YouTube things. I don't do self-help books. You know, it's just not my thing. And, usually I kind of know it already. A lot of it intuitively I already know. But these books are something different, and they are tweaking my frequency. I'm not going to speak for Gretchen or anybody else, but that's I'm on book 3, and I'm going to tell you I'm a different person than when I was reading book 1. And so it's just about operating at a higher frequency and changing your perception. And the more that you change your perception, the more clearly you can see, the more you can manifest, because you can actually see what is around you. And when you're in fear, or you're in shame, or you're in, self-deprecating, or any of that, you are really diminishing what is available to you. So anyways, that's kind of the gist of it. I'm doing it a disservice to a point, but anyways, that's the gist of it. So, for me, one of my trigger points during the whole madness over the last year was going into a grocery store. I mean, if I could avoid the grocery store, I managed to do it. I mean, if I had to order online, what have you. But, if you do that with the grocery store, you might do it with, meeting with friends. You might not go to a restaurant. You might, you get to a point where your world gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. You're not going to work. You're not traveling on the road. So your world now is getting really small. And I already am a little bit reclusive because, Joe's not around. But I'm a homebody, after being on the road for 40 years, it's kind of hard to blast me out of my house. And, but when I'm setting this wall between me and humanity, which I think a lot of us did, I'm pretty sure a lot of us did that. And we just said, hell, I'm just not going to go deal with it. And, I'm just going to pretty much look at everything from my ivory tower. And so that's really where I was. I might not have put it in those words, but that's exactly what I was doing. So anyway, I've been working the books, and now, when I go somewhere, it's a pretty pleasant experience. And, I've really shifted my thinking and what have you. So one of the new exercises that I've been working on is just seeing that everyone is in service. Everyone. I don't care who you name, how evil you think someone is. Everyone is a manifestation of God. Everybody's in service. And maybe it's impossible sometimes to tell how they're in service, what their job actually is, what they signed up for, what they're here to do. But it's not for me to judge them. I can judge the action, but I'm not going to judge the human being. Okay. So I'm in the grocery store, and it's Publix, and Publix is a great grocery store. I mean, they're very, very customer friendly. And so I go up to the deli counter. I'm the only one there. And usually that deli counter is really, really crowded. And I don't usually order lunch meats and stuff, but I had company this week. And so I thought, well, I'll get all kind of picnicky things and, you know. And so there were two people back there, and I'm standing there for like 10 minutes, and I'm not being waited on. I thought, well, that's really, so I'm getting a little bit antsy, you know. And then the woman who's like, and it's not like they're not doing anything. And I'll explain what they said to me. Finally, one of the woman, very nice woman, she said, you know, I'm sorry, honey, we'll get right to you. So I started talking to them, you know, and it turns out that people order online and then they come and pick up their food. So they just had this mega orders of food that was coming in from online. And there's really no way for them to have more than the people that they have behind the counter, because it would be really crowded, and with those meat slicers, it would be really dangerous. Of course, I'm realizing this all yesterday for the first time as I'm getting out of my way and watching her work and watching the gentleman work. And it turns out her name's Lillian. And, you know, we were just really hitting it off. And I was practicing my, you know, that, you know, she's in service, she's got a child, and I'm just doing my thing, you know, and all of a sudden I could just see all her beauty. It's going to make me cry. It was so profound for me. I could see how truly beautiful she is, and the guy that, you know, and how hard they were working, and, you know, they're willing to come in and stand on their feet all day. There's people that don't want to get a job, that just are collecting unemployment. Here's people who probably have children at home, and they leave every day and they stand on their feet all day, and they have to be extra careful. They're working with these meat slicers that are really dangerous. And, you know, so, and I'm talking to them, and they're telling me how the business runs and how busy it gets, and, you know, and, you know, we all exchange names. It's great. And I'm literally beaming when I walk away from there. And so here I'm just so in the love vibe. And then I go up to the cashier, and the woman bagging doesn't have a mask on, you know, little steps, we're getting there. The cashier lady, she still has one on. But I said, oh God, you have such beautiful hair. She goes, oh, thank you. You know, and she, of course, then, you know, we're just the best of friends. We're talking about everything, you know, and oh, and then, you know, the woman's bagging my groceries, and I don't look like a cripple or anything. And she says, can I carry your groceries out? I go, oh, absolutely not. You know, it's really hot. Just let me, you know, you stay in where it's nice and cool. You're already working really hard, and, you know, thank you. Just have a beautiful day. So I went outside and I sobbed. I just started sobbing because I was so overwhelmed with the love that I could feel for them. And of course, it just permeates out to everyone that's walking past you, and, you know, and you can just see that they're beautiful, and, you know, it was really powerful for me. And, you know, what it took was for me to get out from my expectations or my, you know, being judgmental, and, you know, maybe, you know, because somebody looks a certain way, I assume, and I was really big on this, you know, sizing people up and what have you, letting go of all that and just seeing who is standing in front of you, just to look and see the beauty of that spirit. And I don't care who it is. You know, the person that I practice on was Biden. And I could see, you know, I could see what was there. I might not have the actual answer of what his service is or how he is serving in the bigger picture. I mean, I can come up with all kinds of things that, you know, in some weird way it raises awareness because, you know, actions are absurd. But that's all judgment. And that's not up to me. And, you know, and I'll tell you, that was a turning point for me, because I thought if I could do it with him, I'd do it with anybody. You know, I had to pick somebody that was really tough for me, you know. And I think it's really important we do this, because every time we raise our frequency and we clear our perception, it influences who's ever standing next to us or whoever we're interacting with. And then that person shares it with the next one. And it really does become exponential quite quickly, by the way. When you look at the uprising in India with Gandhi, that was one person. That was one person. You know, when you see how the civil rights movement, which was an organic movement by someone that was doing it for the right reasons, Martin Luther King, that was one person who preached love, right? It can only take one person. And though he may be flawed, as was Martin Luther King, by the way, very flawed. But even though he's very flawed, you know, Trump, and I don't agree with everything that Trump says, but, you know, we had an incredible shift, and that was one person. So you and me and everyone you know and everyone I know, we're all incredibly significant. We just have to believe in the greatness of everyone around us. It's really important we do it now. Will things change within our lifetime to where humanity is humming along at a high frequency and everybody has everybody else's best interest at heart? I don't think so. But so what? I mean, you know, it's not going to happen fast. It's not going to all of a sudden one day, oh, we've all shifted. And it will take time as one person influences the next, influences the next, influences the next. So we might as well get busy now and do it now and understand that we have a lot of influence. And the fact that we're certainly not the first ones. I mean, really, you know, this movement, or the movement to where we were really adopting a philosophy where, you know, a lot of the East Indian, you know, kind of philosophies and yoga and all that kind of stuff that really showed itself was really in this last century. And so we've been at it for a very short period of time. And, but it is exponential and it will continue, and it may not happen in my lifetime. I'm 70, maybe it'll happen in yours if you're 20, I don't know. But maybe it'll happen in your grandchild's life or your great-grandchild's life. All that really matters is that we're going in the right direction. And I think it matters that we if you can, take part in it, because it's a beautiful way to live your life. So anyways, just wanted to share that. It was a powerful, powerful lesson. I'm still get choked up when I think about it. It's just, you know, falling in love with humans again. Yeah. Okay. Radical gardener, from my garden to yours. May your garden always grow. I think I'm going to send you a ton of love. Okay. Goodbye.